It takes a while for individual raindrops to make a difference, but once they do, you can't miss them. Women today are suffering a major wage gap, and at first it's only a few cents, a few raindrops of loss, but eventually the loss of money comes flooding into the women's lives. These women are drowning, and 2015 is time to do something about it. Everybody has that one class that no matter how hard they try, they're always going to get a worse grade than the teacher's favorite student. For women, it's a similar situation. If you compare full-time working women with men, women only earn 79% of what men do. This goes against everything the world has been working for the world to have equal and fair rights. It has been some evidenceless theory for as long as history has recorded that women are inferior to men. However, women actually outnumber men in university attendance and graduation rates. So it's pretty logical to assume that with more education, you get the job done more efficiently, and therefore should be paid equally, if not more. The only thing keeping women from having the rights they deserve are ignorant men who comment things such as, "Men are bigger risk takers. This means we try harder and put more at stake. The poorest people are men and are the richest are men. Women only look at the richest, not all the imprisoned or homeless men, nor do they care about these people. We live to work." This is an actual comment on a blog, so blind and ignorant to the fact that even though women earn less than men, they give 89% more to charities. And the fact that women are not as hardworking as men is so wrong. There are, in fact, many hardworking women, such as J.K. Rowling, who went from a poor, single mother to a billionaire because of diligence and persistence. However, she was even forced to write her name and initials, J.K. Rowling, so people would think she's a man and it would be more likely to buy her book. This shows that women discrimination goes even further than just the wage gap. Women are, in fact, just as hardworking as men, and the only things setting them aside from men are bodily differences apparently seen as a crime. Another thing to note is the fact that women of color have an even larger wage gap than white females. Black women earn 64 cents to every dollar a white man makes, and Hispanic women only earn 56 cents. Even after the Civil War, in which we fought to end slavery and discrimination against colors, women of color only earn a little over half of what white men do. This is insanely ridiculous. Women of color are just as hardworking as white men, and might be even more diligent due to their history of tireless, tough females. Harriet Tubman was a black woman who helped slaves escape, which was putting her life at stake. That is dedication and proves that women are not afraid to take risks. And also, women of color tend to come from countries that have to walk miles just to fetch a glass of water. And you would think that that hard work converts over to their workplace, to their job, and therefore they should probably be paid equally. Women of color are no different from any other human. If you don't judge people by their hair color, why should you judge them by their skin color? It is commonly mistaken that only the woman working is affected by this wage gap, but in reality, the whole family depends on it. It takes hundreds of thousands of dollars to raise a kid, and a loss of approximately $10,000 each year does not exactly help a woman. Considering the fact that if a mother does not have enough money to raise a child, she can just put he or she up for adoption. And this would majorly affect the child's mental stability. And if it doesn't get to that extreme, the father would have to work extra hours, which also affects the kids due to lack of father-kid time, or the mother would have to work extra, which would also affect the kids' mental stability. So all in all, not just the woman working is affected by this wage gap. The future generation and their mentality is affected by this wage gap. When you explore social media, you might see posts with the hashtag feminism, explaining how much of a feminist they are and how much they believe in women's equal rights. However, this wage gap, in my mind, is a large part of being a feminist, yet nothing has been done about it. I think it's time that the world today should turn this belief, this idea of feminism, into a reality and close this everlasting wage gap.